Hi everybody, it's Katie Swain, Director of Alumni Affairs at Shepherd University. We're here again with another Roaming Rams Travel Talks Info session, and tonight we're going to be talking about our Alaska cruise on Star Princess that we are utilizing Destination by Kimberly for, and we have Kimberly from Destinations by Kimberly here with us tonight to talk about this great cruise and all the details about it. So we're going to get that screen share going and start our presentation. Gotta find my full screen here. There we go. Okay, Kimberly, I'm going to let you take it from here. Can you see everything okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, thank you, Katie. Yeah, so it's so exciting, a new year, my second year presenting here with Alumni Association. I'm very excited about this trip. As you know, if you've heard my other talks, very excited about travel in general, but Alaska is one of those destinations that yeah, I think it's on everybody's bucket list, and it's just one of those kind of life-changing moments. So, Katie, am I allowed to advance, or are you?
I can.
To advance the slide.
I'll click through for you, so just let me know when you're ready.
Okay. Yep. If you want to click. So the first slide here, of course, that's a picture of me. So a little bit about my agency. If you haven't heard my presentations before, I am a certified travel advisor, and I own my own agency. I'm located in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, so I'm maybe like 20 minutes from the university, so local. If you still live in the area of the university. I've been through all the Princess Cruise training, and I've sold a lot of Princess Cruises, and I actually earned a Princess Cruise, and I took that cruise to Alaska about a year and a half ago. So I've been there. That's actually a picture of me with a piece of the iceberg that actually fell off the glacier. So yeah, so my agency is licensed and insured. So that's kind of all the background business kind of details. So if you want to go to the next slide. Okay, so this trip that we're offering the association is going to be on the Princess Star. So this is actually a brand new ship. It was just released a few months ago in 2025, and it's extremely modern. It's new. All the staterooms are new. You can kind of see on the photo how they kind of have that infinity glass towards the front, and they have this new kind of glass dome. So if you're on the top of the cruise ship at night, you can actually see the stars. And if it's the right time of year, you might see the northern lights. They actually have this glass atrium now that's in the piazza, and it's amazing because it actually covers kind of the pool area. So even though you are in a destination like Alaska, the pool is heated and you have the glass, so you're able to still, take advantage of a pool like you would on a cruise ship going to the Caribbean. And so this ship has all the bells and whistles, so a lot of additional space for shows and things, and then it has all of the advanced facial recognition on and off the ship, so it's quick boarding the ship and getting off the ship during excursions. And they have the medallion technology, so you just use your medallion to get in and out of your stateroom, and it's very, very convenient. Okay, so next slide. Okay, so I've reserved group space on this cruise for your group, and I have a couple of the interior and ocean view rooms on hold just in case maybe your budget doesn't allow for kind of a balcony cabin or above. So we do have a few of those. You can kind of see those there. Obviously, the interior is kind of is a standard interior room, and then the ocean view has a small little window and a little bit more space, and then of course the balconies. And as always with my agency, we have the ability to upgrade to deluxe balconies or mini suites, or even if you want to go all out like the owner's suite, and kind of move it into the group space. So we definitely have more options than what you see here, but we do also have the ability to book rooms that hold 3, 4, 5, 6 people as well, not just the standard 2. So, okay, next one. Okay, so here's our wonderful itinerary. This is amazing because this itinerary takes you into the inside arm of Alaska. So it will start in Seattle, Washington, and then you have your first day at sea, and then you stop in Ketchikan, and you go right up through you can see on the map there where you're in between where the land is, and right up through past where the glaciers are. So you sail right through the glaciers, and then you end up in Juneau, which is capital, and then Skagway, and then you come on back down, and you have a day at sea, just sailing the ocean there, and you end up in Victoria, which is actually a gorgeous little city, especially in the summer. This cruise year is in August, so gorgeous flowers in British Columbia, and then you are back in Seattle. Okay, so next slide. Okay, so this is kind of an overview. Obviously, you start in Seattle, and then your day of cruising, and Ketchikan. That's actually a photo of me. I was in Ketchikan. We went on a hike through the rainforest, the national forest there, and we saw a bunch of black bears. Okay, so but there's so much to do on each as we're going through here. A lot of these are my photos, so that's my photo of the glacier, my photo of the train there in Skagway. We actually took that on up to Canada, so when you're in Skagway, you can take the bypass there and go on up to the Yukon, but the excursions are, it's so hard to pick one. They're all so amazing. So the next one. And then, like I mentioned, you can see the flowers there in British Columbia. Then you have your day at sea and back in Seattle. Okay, so next one. These are just kind of some personal photos that I couldn't help but to stick in there. My husband and I took a helicopter ride and landed on the glacier, which is sort of one of those, amazing experiences. And you could just see the scenery, the scenery and the wildlife. You're just in awe the entire time. Okay, so next slide. Okay, so kind of some features of this ship. If you are in relaxation, this is the cruise ship for you. Like I said, it is a newer ship, so it has the thermos spa. This spa is actually 2 stories. It's gorgeous. They actually have acupuncture and a salt room, and the thermal, you could see her coming out of the thermal spa there. These hydrotherapy pools and heated loungers. You really could spend your entire week in this spa. But and then they also have the salon, so there is a formal night on this if you choose to participate. And if you feel like going all out, they do have the salon where you get your hair and nails and all that good stuff done. Okay, so next. And lots of activities. The new craze on all the ships is the pickleball, as you can see there. The ship does have like full-on fitness, a track, basketball courts. They do different games and little tournaments and things. There you can see the third photo in is actually a little kiddie splash pool. So this ship and sailing is actually very kid-friendly. Then you can see on the next photo that there is actually all adults tranquil area. So you're not so much into the kids splash pad. You're kind of there doing your own thing, you can definitely relax in a quiet spot. And I had mentioned you could see there where they're playing the pickleball. That's sort of like the glass dome area. So depending, it doesn't matter what the weather is, you could still have that outdoor, be able to see the gorgeous scenery that will be around you when you're sailing, and have the natural light, even if it's raining or snowing. Which in August it shouldn't be snowing, but you might have some rain or chilly weather. So, okay, next slide. Okay, so like I mentioned, this ship has some new features. One is this new little, it's kind of like a bar slash speakeasy. There's like a hidden kind of little entrance thing that you gotta do to get in, and then when you get in there, you could see this, it looks like a lantern and a light. That's actually a cocktail. This is like they have magicians in there, and it's like very theatrical, so it's really fun. They have piano bar, they have like a nightclub area, and then of course the shopping. This ship here has Chanel and Calvin Klein. So you can just shop, take your day at sea and shop and dance and see a magic show. So, okay, so next slide. And then there's still more entertainment. So this ship has a full casino, and then it has a couple of different theaters. One of the shows taking place this year on this ship is this Illuminate, and it's sort of graphics, but it's also, it reminds me of Cirque du Soleil, but it's kind of a circus theme, but it's more than that. It's actually, it says cutting edge shape shifting theater with immersive lighting and staging for the musicals. So the theater in itself is quite amazing. And then of course you saw the little space out there with near the pool where they have the atrium, so you would be able to see the stars at night, and then actually have a huge cinema out there where they show movies, and they pass around blankets and popcorn. It's actually pretty fun. And then, yes, of course, the Princess Live. So there's different piano bars and singers at different bars and lounges. So there's always something going on and something to do. Okay, so next slide. Okay, and then maybe my favorite part, other than the scenery and the animals, is the food. And so, of course, with your room reservation comes the main dining room, and then there's a few fast casual options that is included as well. They do have 24-hour room service as well. That is included. There are a couple of different specialty restaurants that would be an extra charge. That's kind of like the steakhouse and the hibachi. And then they have, between the beverage options, which is like the bar, the coffee shop, the restaurants, and the specialty dining, there's over 30 food and beverage venues on this ship. So definitely something for everybody, and something's almost always open out all the time. And if it's not, then you can get room service. So you can really eat all day and night. And one new feature about this on the ship that's pretty cool, you can kind of see the photo there with the linen tables. That's actually a 3-story dining room. So they're seating like kind of in the round and in the middle, and it goes all the way up, and it's actually pretty cool. And they kind of have these lights, and they kind of do some things with the lights during dinner. It almost becomes like a show. Okay, so next slide. Okay, and then of course the ship has your kids club from, I think it's 18 months, 2 years, all the way up, the teen lounge, where there's video games and different activities, crafts, something for everybody. The ship does have select staterooms that that have they're the connecting rooms. So if you wanted to kind of be with family and didn't want to opt for a larger suite, we can do 2 connecting rooms. And then of course, babies, there always usually ends up being babies on board, and they do have like cribs and different supplies that are on board the ship that are available as well. And this ship too is also accessibility friendly. So if you do have any issues with mobility, obviously the ship has the elevators and different accommodations for that. Okay, so next slide. Okay, so a little bit of the travel logistics, as I mentioned. You do kind of go into Canadian water, and then the ship does pull into British Columbia, which is Canada. Obviously not part of the U.S., so you would need a passport for this trip. And with all passport travel, your passport needs to be valid 6 months after the date that you would be returning from this trip. Okay. Let's see, next slide. Okay, so this, as I mentioned, this ship sails out of Seattle, so it's obviously a domestic flight. There's a lot of non-stop flights. If you are here in the DC area, obviously we have the free airports. There's a couple of different airlines that offer direct non-stop flights. If you are located somewhere else in the country, a lot of the major hubs do have non-stop flights to Seattle. And the cruise port in Seattle, it's actually a huge waterfront on the Sound, and the area is just riddled with hotel after hotel right there on the water, and they're all there for basically the cruisers. So there's a large number of hotel options, all budgets. So if you'd like to arrive into Seattle a day or two and explore, obviously Seattle has the Space Needle. It is the home of the first Starbucks. My husband and I went early, and we actually walked from the cruise port down and caught a baseball game. So there's a lot to do in Seattle if you wanted to go out a day or two early. My agency can help you, like with your flights, your hotels. Definitely make it into a package. And we also have, it's the U.S., so there's Uber and Lyft, but if you wanted a more private transfer, we can definitely help you with that as well. And if you want to do an all-encompassing situation, then we can go ahead and do, like your dining reservations and make a custom itinerary for you as well. Okay, next slide. Okay, so this is kind of like a little add-on feature. So in addition to booking this cruise itinerary, Princess actually has a feature where it's called a cruise tour. So it's cruise plus train plus lodge. So you'd sail on your cruise for 7 days, and then you could extend and do a direct to the wilderness rail and go straight to the Wilderness Lodge, and then you would be able to explore Denali and Mount McKinley if that's something that you wanted to add on to a cruise that is available as well. Okay, next slide. Okay, and then of course we offer trip protection because nowadays you just do not know. And then, like I said, you do have the dining, the standard dining included, but if you wanted to upgrade to the alcohol package, Princess does have a plus package where you can bundle your Wi-Fi, your gratuities, your drink, and like a specialty dining restaurant reservation, or you could add those things individually to your package. Next. Okay, so here are the dates again, August 9th to the 16th. And here is listed your group rates. So for the interior, ocean view and balcony. So to reserve your room based on double occupancy, it would be a $500 deposit. And then, like I had mentioned, there are additional cabins if you felt that your family needed something like a different type of cabin or a different size. And we could just contact me and we could quote that and then kind of move you into the group. So you would still be able to take advantage of all the group amenities. So, okay. Oh, and I had started to mention the group amenities. So the whole kind of concept of this was kind of the group travel through the Alumni Association. So we created the group space, and we were hoping to get, you know, a group of you that whether you went to school together or not, but you were from Shepherd University, and based on the number of cabins that we are able to secure for the group, the reservations, then we would like to create, you know, like a welcome cocktail, something like that. Excuse me. But it would not be the situation where you are, you know, you're with that group the entire sailing for all your excursions. It would just be, you know, kind of first day you arrive, a little welcome cocktail, or maybe the first day at sea, a little afternoon get together for an hour or so. So you would know, oh, these are all the other people from Shepherd. You know, you may know them, you may not, but you would probably see them later on during the cruise, and you know, able to say hello. So we're hoping to get some space sold so that we can offer all of you some Shepherd spirit there. Okay, so here's my contact information. You can see on the screen. That phone number you can call or text. There's my email address if you want to follow me on social media. You can actually look back and see all of tons of videos and photos from my Alaska trip on there. I think that's the last slide. Yeah, okay. So I'm not sure if anybody had any questions, but they end up coming through. We can definitely answer those on the Facebook page, or you can contact me directly. So, Katie, do you have any questions?
So, no questions right now on the live stream. So, anybody watching, if you have questions, please put them in the comments, and I will definitely ask Kimberly those questions. I just wanted to kind of go back over some of the finer points of things. Particularly, I'm going to scroll back to the pricing page. So just to reiterate, to make sure everybody understands that these pricings are based on an assumed double occupancy, so 2 people per room, but the pricing is a per person rate. So could you talk a little bit about what it would be if somebody was like a single traveler?
Yeah, so for a single traveler, it's going to depend. So there's kind of some factors. So if you've sailed before, it could be a different rate. If you are a certain age category, it could be a different rate, and then it depends on what cabin you get, obviously. So it's usually like 1.5 that time, so they don't actually charge you double, but they do charge you a little bit more than, so it would not be, so for example, you book the interior, it's not going to be, oh, well, I'm just one person, so it would be 1113. It wouldn't do that, but it wouldn't be that times 2, if that makes sense. So if you are a solo traveler, yeah, just reach out to me and I could instantly get you the cost. Like I said, there are a couple of factors in that. Yeah, and so this pricing is per person, and it depends on the cabin there. But depending on, no matter which cabin, because this is a group space, the deposit is $500.
Awesome. And also when it comes to, like you said, some things are included in that pricing outside of just the room, but when it comes to doing the add-ons, they would be able to book all of that through you at the time of booking, or would they kind of be able to manage all of that through the Princess app? Once everything's booked, they could go in and do their add-ons separately.
Yeah, well, either. So the Princess Plus plan, if they wanted to do that, generally, if you book that in advance, and you do it at the time of booking, because they kind of do want to secure that, so they often offer that at a discount. And then leading up to your cruise, if you haven't booked that, they'll sometimes send you a message and say, "Hey, do you want to get it? Because it's going to be more expensive on board." And then if you choose to buy that on board, it does cost a little bit more. And then as far as the excursions, if you need help, if you have questions, maybe which one would I recommend, or which one's most popular, or we kind of have guides to all the excursions, so maybe if you weren't sure if one was appropriate for a child, or if you had maybe a little bit of mobility issues, I could definitely steer you in the right direction. But you can let me know what you want, and I can help secure that with your reservation, or you can just kind of manage those in the app. If you want to just go through and pick out the excursions you want, you could just go ahead and do that. So if you book your trip, you'll receive a confirmation number from me, and you'll just download the Princess app, put your confirmation number in, and you will see your sailing. You'll see your cabin. You'll be able to, if you want to add specialty dining, you can do that yourself in the app. It's pretty user friendly. You would be able to do quite a bit on your own, but I am here every step of the way. If you have questions. And then there's always, some little things on there. People will end up contacting me, maybe about how does the Wi-Fi work, because they do have some different plans for how many devices you have, and some things like that. So, yeah, definitely just reach out if you have any questions about that. My husband and I, we were actually celebrating our 25th, and we actually added on a private dinner on our balcony. So when we were out sailing, where the glaciers were, we actually had wait staff come through our room onto our balcony and set up a whole dinner. So you can plan little things like that on board too. They do have like formal nights, so you can get dressed up, and they have a photographer, so you can get photos done. All kinds of things. So it's definitely an epic vacation. If you you're able to do it, you will talk about it for years.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it. We do have a question from the comments. Somebody wants to know what your personal favorite excursion was, but also adding to that, what are some others that you would recommend?
Sure. Well, I have to say, excursions, it was kind of between two, only that I hike a lot of the national parks, and it was on my lifetime bucket list to see a bear in the wild. And so when I went on the hike, I didn't think I was going to see one. I was trying not to get too excited in case I did. I wouldn't be disappointed. And then we were almost done with the hike, and we were actually going across this bridge, crossing from the rainforest to the national forest. And the bear walks down into the water to get the salmon. So that was kind of epic for me, because I really wanted to see a bear. But the other amazing thing, so my husband used to work as a police officer and a medic on a helicopter. So it was our anniversary, so I booked the excursion where you take the helicopter and you actually land on the glacier. Mm-hmm. And I assumed it was going to be, like a big mega helicopter, and it was actually a little bit smaller. I mean, it was me and my husband and two other people and a pilot, and he was controlling the helicopter almost like with a joystick. Mm-hmm. And we were right above the trees, so you could see all the little lakes and the trees and the rivers. And then when I say we landed on the glacier, like we hovered above it for a little bit and then landed on it. We got out and we walked around, and there was a lady up there, and she told us the history of that glacier and kind of how it formed, and let us walk around a little bit. And then we were actually drinking the water from the glacier. Wow. Just because it's so pure. Mm-hmm. I mean, better than anywhere else you would drink the water. So we were just people were drinking the water from the glacier. It was amazing. So that was pretty epic. But we another amazing part. I know it's just there's so many, but when the ship goes up to like the Endicott Arm Dawes Glacier, and it's one of those things where when you look at it, you're kind of like, how's that going to work? Because you really have to get up super early in the morning. But you actually, in the middle of the water, they put a ramp down from the ship to a smaller boat. And you walk down the ramp and you get on a smaller boat. And it actually, so the big ship is kind of going on the outer edge. Like, we could see the ship the entire time, but we were on a small boat. And we went right up to the glacier.
Wow.
And while we were there, a major glacier fell. And the pilot of the boat had announced that they hadn't seen one like that in a couple of months. So we were pretty fortunate that we saw that. It was real. It sounded like the loudest thunder, and it was just so beautiful. And then the crew actually took these nets and pulled the pieces of glacier up on the boat so we could touch them. And I think that was the first picture you saw on the slide. I was actually holding a piece of it. But then they chopped it up into small pieces, and they put it in glasses, and then they made cocktails out of it. So we were actually drinking cocktails made from the glacier. So it was pretty epic too. But I mean, they were all really neat. I mean, they have like these off-roading buggy things. They have dog sledding, salmon fishing. If you like to fish, you can catch salmon and then they cook it for you. They actually will ship your salmon back to your house for you on ice. Yeah, there's just, I mean, it's just, there's so much. I mean, and if you feel like, okay, I kind of, maxing my budget out, when you get into port, I mean, there's kind of like hop on little things. There's walk-in tours that are like $10. You could really just walk around the shops, and like Ketchikan has like this little historic boardwalk area, and you could just walk around and eat, and yeah, it's beautiful. Even if you didn't do an epic excursion, but it's just beautiful seeing the wilderness, I guess you'd say.
Well, I know when I travel, I'm always there for the food. So as long as there's lots of really good food options, which it sounds like this ship has a ton, but then in the towns, I'm sure there's some really just unique and cool things. But everything just sounds amazing about this. The boat, everything that's on it, all of the excursion options, there's a lot of things to do, and it seems like there's something for literally everybody from babies to adults, the full spectrum. So I'm hoping that some people will reach out to you. I've put your contact information back up on the screen so that way people can write that down or shoot you an email, screenshot it so you don't forget. And yeah, this has been a really great presentation. Are there any last thoughts or words you would like to share about Alaska?
Just, it's one of those things that in the back of your mind you always say, you think you have time to go, time is short. If it's on your list, this is a great opportunity because you will have help. You'll have help the whole way. And the pricing is pretty great for this group. We secured this group spacing a year ago, so we have kind of last year's rates, and they're pretty great. And like I said, you'd have help the entire, even in destination or after destination, I'm here. I have my phone on all the time. You can call me or text me. And if you have any issues, so you're definitely not navigating on your own. And it's one of those things that, it always seems kind of like maybe someday, but once you go, I promise you will not regret it. It will stick with you. It's one of those places.
Yeah. Well, definitely sounds amazing. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for joining us again and giving us all the great information about this cruise, and we look forward to booking more with you in the future.
Exactly. I'm excited. So, okay, so yeah, just call me or email me or text me.
Of course.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll have another Travel Talks info session about our Spain trip next Thursday at 6 o'clock. So tune back in, Facebook Live next Thursday to hear all about Spain with our other travel partner, Colette. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.